Vincent Goodwill, Yahoo Sports NBA writer, host of the Good Word podcast on Yahoo Sports, Ball Don't Lie channel, Sirius XM NBA host. What the heck happened in Denver yesterday, Vincent?
Before we begin, that was the greatest song ever written that you were playing coming out there on the bump. Stevie Wonder's ad just put me in a really, really good mood. What happened yesterday shows that the NBA is very unpredictable. Like you've seen more championship coaches fired in a short span than anybody, but this one is particularly, I guess you could say, bizarre. You were hearing over the past couple of months that Michael Malone was probably not going to be there after this year, bearing something miraculous happening, bearing another championship run. And then after the All-Star break, it just seemed to accelerate, like the way that the team had performed, the losses they had, the defense. And honestly, some of the things that he said in the post-game press conferences kind of alluded to, man, maybe he lost his voice with the team to some degree. And maybe that did happen. The total house cleaning was more shocking to me than Michael Malone and even the timing of it, because now you don't have a chief basketball executive, you don't have a head coach, and you're walking into arguably maybe the play-in tournament, depending on how these next few games shake out. Like, it's a lot of questions for what we consider to be one of the model franchises in the NBA, and we don't have a lot of answers as of yet. I don't know if we're going to get the answers as clear beyond what we've been saying and writing over the past day or so.
Any chance Joker wasn't involved in this?
I don't think he ordered the code red. I don't think he did the Colonel Jessup, ordered the code red and all that type of stuff. No, I think in the NBA, Dan, you know this like I know this, sometimes the star player is alerted and they have the opportunity to say, hey, that's not happening. I'm going to the wall for my guy or whatever. That doesn't seem like Nikola Jokic and his type of personality. He's more or less the type that it seems like to me from a distance. I don't know him well. I don't know many people who do. That's more or less like, okay, if that's what you want to do, okay, fine. Like he's not going to step in front and obscure what an organization wants to do. And besides, he doesn't want to pick his head coach anyway. He just wants, I'm sure, to be in a stable situation. And right now, that looks like nothing but stable, even though from what I understand, Dan, the players do like David Adams. And they have reacted positively to him throughout the season since he's been there.
Do you make this move because you think it's going to give your team a little bit of a bump going into the I don't know how that works where you go, hey, look what we did. Now go out and try to win.
Yeah, there's a reason this is unprecedented because it doesn't work like this. There's a reason why, the Miami Heat and some of the other model franchises, they ride these waters out. But some coaches have different personalities too. And some coaches, almost like from a certain tree of coaches, almost, they run very, very hot. And Michael Malone ran very hot. And one of the concerns that I knew from the front office and from people in the know was that, hey, is he holding the top guys accountable? Is he playing those top guys too many minutes? Almost Tibbsian, right? Like Jamal Murray, who has an ACL, playing the career high minutes. Nikola Jokic, career high minutes. The numbers look great, but you run the risk, Dan, of that team wearing down throughout the course of a playoff run. Remember, they wore down in the last two games of that playoff run against the Minnesota Timberwolves. They had nothing left. Jamal Murray, his legs were wiped out. Nikola Jokic looked wiped out. And if you're responding by playing those guys career high minutes, ain't no joke that's going to happen when you change the coach or when the coach is still there. It's almost like this is going to be another tired run if there is some type of run. But it's really, really bizarre that it happened with 3 games left in the season. Not bizarre that they fired the coach.
Yeah, the problem I had with this team, they win the title. I wanted to know they were going to lose bench players. I just don't think they restocked. And I called it malpractice because I said this team won't win another title with Joker. You have the best player in the game, and I just don't think that you gave him, that's why they're playing these minutes. Because maybe Michael Malone didn't have confidence in that bench, and that leads us to this. Joker had a wonderful year. Murray is hurt. You're limping literally into the postseason. You don't have a coach and you don't have a GM. Other than that, how was your season, Nuggets?
Other than how's the play, Mrs. Lincoln? Like, that's what this sounds like. But I understand this from this standpoint. They signed Michael Porter Jr., the third star, to a max contract under the old paradigm, under the old CBA, where you didn't have punitive luxury tax penalties and fewer mechanisms that you could actually improve your team. Most teams don't have three max salary guys, including a big time max salary guy in Jokic, no matter how good you are. It is really hard in the financial reality of today's NBA to have three max guys and to build a team around them. You have to hit on all of your draft picks. You have to have value signings. And they've done that, actually. Like Christian Brown is one of those guys who's a most improved player candidate. Like Calvin Booth actually restocked to some degree with value young players. Michael Malone didn't trust them. And subsequently, because you didn't trust them, you play your veterans more and you don't have any other resources.
Luka last night getting tossed. Last 5 years, he leads the NBA in technicals with 73. I mean, you're not Draymond Green. You're not Rasheed Wallace. Why does he?
Why is he not Rasheed Wallace? Why is he not Draymond Green?
Well, because
are we sure?
He's one of the best players in the game. He shouldn't be Draymond Green and shouldn't be Rasheed Wallace. Why is he?
I mean, look, he's a child prodigy. Like I read his book, not shameless plug for my man Tim McMahon, the Wonder Boy, but everything with him strikes out to me like a child prodigy. And those child prodigies, they act out a lot. They act out at people around them. They act out at fans. Luka Doncic is a chirper. He has ways that he goes about it. I don't think people love it and like it. I know that's one of the reasons that the Dallas Mavericks, they had a litany of reasons why they traded him. I don't know if I would have done it. They had a litany of reasons, and that was one of them, getting distracted. And, remember the plays during the NBA Finals? He picked up his fifth foul in the fourth quarter of Game 3 in a play he shouldn't have. He ordered the team to challenge it. It was a bad play. It was a bad challenge. And then a few minutes later, he fouls out. Like it's these impulses in the moment. Now, granted, Dan, he was talking to a fan in that moment, but he had already drawn one technical foul with that same official, thus eliminating benefit of the doubt. I feel like that's a theme in the NBA for the past couple of weeks with Ja Morant and now Luka Doncic. Some people don't have benefit of the doubt when you've eliminated, lack of a good phrase, Goodwill.
Speaking of which, Vincent Goodwill, Yahoo Sports NBA writer, Ja's got a new celebration. Like now he tosses the grenade.
hey, look, man. Look, if he wants to go full rebel, go. Look, he's clearly going full rebel, full villain. And I find it hilarious, Dan, that the NBA, they didn't suspend him. They didn't fine him immediately. They told him, hey, man, just don't do it again. And you want to know why they did that, Dan? Because they don't want to hurt him. They need him as a young face of the future. They just wanted him to stay on the floor a little bit longer to get people used to seeing him again without associating him with the nonsense. And what is the first thing that he does 12 hours after receiving a warning? He goes out and does it on national TV. You're daring the league. You're daring Adam Silver, the most player progressive commissioner in the history of professional American sports. You're spitting on him. Okay, fine. Go ahead. Fine you $75,000. And people are still pissed off about that. They didn't suspend him. Like, we have to be honest about this stuff. If he's going to go full villain, go full villain, but then don't complain and say that everybody's against you. This is ridiculous.
As long as he's not driving with one of his buddies and he's actually got a live grenade, then I'm okay with this. But you're right. Now all of a sudden it's everybody's against Ja. He doesn't realize he created all of this. I don't think he was a great feel-good story. Came out of nowhere, and all of a sudden you watch him and you go, damn, he should be one of those guys that we talk about with all of the greats of the game. And we don't. And I hope that there's somebody who can. They don't have that veteran leadership there. You just fired your coach. I don't know what role he played in that. But, you see these guys that they're in the embryonic stages of greatness, Zion. And I just don't know. You got a lot of money. You don't need to work for it anymore. And I just wonder if, that's to the detriment of a lot of these younger players getting $50 million by the time you're 25.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of expectation. I will say this for Ja. I don't think from my reporting, from my gathering, he had anything to do with the firing of Taylor Jenkins. Like,
Okay.
so I won't put that on him, just like I won't put Michael Malone on Nikola Jokic. I will say this, man. For the NBA, they want their next generation of young players, Ant-Man, Zion, Victor, Ja, to take the mantle from the old guys. This is the league that depends heavier on stars, so you're going to give star treatment to stars. The model is there. Steph is going to play for 20 years. LeBron's going to play for 20 years. Kevin Durant's going to play for 20 years. They get all the money, all the fame. All they have to do is just, hey, don't play with guns on Instagram. Don't use laser pointers against the Indiana Pacers traveling party and a loading dock. Don't do dumb stuff. It's not that difficult. Nobody's asking you to be a model citizen. They're just saying, hey, go play basketball, be entertaining, be electrifying. Just don't make it hard for yourself. Don't be Ja versus Ja. This ain't Ja versus the NBA. The NBA wants them to succeed. They want to succeed. Come on, man.
What kind of reception will the Mavericks give Luka tonight? What kind of reception should they give him?
What type of reception will the Mavericks fans give the Mavericks tonight? This is going to be a road game in Dallas. That's what y'all are missing. This is going to be it's going to be a lot of Laker purple and gold in this building. I think he's going to, of course, get the standing ovations. I'm sure there's going to be a tribute video, given to him by the franchise. And like he made 5 NBA first teams in his first 6 years, carried him to the NBA Finals and the Western Conference Finals. I think his relationship with the city of Dallas is solid. His relationship with the Dallas Mavericks is a different thing. So I am far more curious how the fans are going to react to the home team looking at the other side and seeing Anthony Davis and not seeing Kyrie Irving. Like, I think it's going to be an electric, sometimes angry atmosphere because they're going to be treated to all the things they miss. Dan, have you ever ran into an ex-girlfriend and she looks finer than when she was with you? Have you ever seen that before?
Yeah, the revenge body. Yeah.
The revenge body. Hey, sometimes guys have revenge bodies. I mean, maybe not Luka, but some people have revenge bodies.
I'm going to leave you with this. Are we giving the Oklahoma City Thunder enough credit for one of the greatest regular seasons of all time? They have 51 games where they won by at least 10 points. At least 10. That's the all-time record. Previous record was the 1971-72 Lakers, who won 33 in a row. Golden State in 2016-2017. Milwaukee Bucks with Kareem and Oscar, 70-71. The Bulls with Mike in 95 and 96. Are we giving okay? I know we're waiting for, well, let's see what happens in the postseason. That's it, right?
Yeah, I mean, for one, double-digit wins is a proxy of the three-point shot and the importance of it. Like when you talk about Kareem's teams and the Lakers teams of the early 70s, they were doing that without the three-point shot. So there's a little more, I guess you could say, equity that you can put into that being translatable to the playoffs. But we're trying to see if this franchise, if this team can finally get over the hump. And if you look at how they played against the Lakers their last 2 games, you could say, man, we got some doubts here. Like, what does this team look like without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander performing like the MVP? Do you have a second guy that can take advantage of his matchup and create his own shot and make his own shot? I don't know if they're going to run through the Western Conference playoffs like they ran through the regular season. I wouldn't say I'd be surprised if they get to the finals, but I think there's a lot more competition in this bloodbath of a Western Conference to get to the finals that I'll be impressed if they do so. More impressed than the winning by, double digits and the highest net rating in NBA history and all that other type of stuff. Like, they have to prove it right now. And the thing is, Dan, nobody's afraid of them.
Great to talk to you. Have fun tonight in Dallas.
More Stevie Wonder, Dan.
Okay. Can't go wrong. That's Vincent Goodwill, Yahoo Sports NBA writer. He'll be at the game with the Lakers tonight. And then he's got Knicks and the Pistons tomorrow. And then likely wherever the Lakers and Warriors are for round 1 of the postseason.